Here we go, Harry, with Pro Schmo Bets. Yes, this is the channel where we're cashing all our bets. We put them up front as we open these videos. We tell you what the bet is. You could play it back on our channel and you'll get them. All right, it's crazy. This week we have Khamzat Chimaev on a parlay with Carlos Prattz for 80% of the total account. And we're opening up this fight card not with the prelims like we usually do. We're opening up with Du Plessis versus Khamzat. And let me tell you, you're all wrong. All wrong. The Capperverse is wrong. YouTube channel, MMA space leaders, wrong. Wrong when you're referring to and his cardio. For you to be a relentless wrestler like Habib and the likes, you must have cardio. Relentless cardio. And that's what he has. For you to dive on double legs, you need cardio. You can ask Daniel Cormier. You can ask anyone who wrestles, man. Couture. I mean, any old, new, contemporary MMA purists, and they'll tell you that all this talk, all these remarks, rhetoric surrounding the poor cardio and the round 3, 4, 5 smothering that Dricus is going to commit on Khamzat is bullshit. I'm telling you right now, bullshit. You heard it here first. Now look. If you want to defeat Khamzat, first you need experience. You need Greco-Roman. You need freestyle, folklore wrestling. You need judo minimum. But a K1 kickboxer, K1, where does this man Dricus Du Plessis even get off with suggested credentials in wrestling? Much less jiu-jitsu. Does he have a purple brown belt in jiu-jitsu? What are we talking about here, guys? Just because you can tape fights and you can, find and exploit a potential opponent for vulnerabilities, let's say in the grappling or striking, doesn't mean that you're an elite kickboxer or elite grappler. It just so happens you had a great game plan, Dricus Du Plessis, through and through your camps. You have great coaches and you're able to find those opportunities, those traps that you set up, right? And guys, listen, if you want a more technical analysis, all you have to do is send me a DM on Instagram or visit us at proschmobets.com if you want to learn about technicalities in how Trevin Giles was nearly defeating Dricus when Dricus played possum against the wall, octagon wall, and then a right cross put out Trevin Giles out. The only success that Dricus Du Plessis has had through the years is with his striking, which is phenomenal and plays into his proportions, right? Because that reach is long. And he uses that shoulder blade, man, like you wouldn't believe, to make sure he catches you on the chin. But we go back, right? We go back to how it is you defeat a guy like Khamzat. RDR is more likely than to defeat a guy like Khamzat because of the clinch, right? And listen, you got Du Plessis that is drilling what it's like to be controlled, what it's like to get through leg laces in wrestling, and how to get through smothering pressure, with elite wrestlers from around the world. And that's incredible. Good for him. But he's a kickboxer, folks. And Chimaev, for as much as you may believe that he is going to lose this fight if it gets past the second round, you're mistaken. He's going to do everything he can. He should at least, and it's suggestive through his fights on the regional scenes and his recent fights that he has good coaches, in that he could just be on the back foot. He can counter Dricus. He could lure Dricus. He could pressure forward Dricus through the rounds 1 or 2. And he can offset some single legs and diving and double legs against the wall and submission attempts, so that he can have the cardio he needs to get through the later rounds. So you're guaranteed an over 3.5 here in this fight. And if anyone is putting anybody out, it'll be in the later rounds by Chimaev in that submission. There's only, again, potential in RDR to defeat Chimaev and new, right? When Chimaev becomes the new middleweight champion. And then you have Hernandez, right? That I guarantee you the UFC is going to kill marketing on. They're just gonna shut that off. They're not gonna channel Hernandez because that's the Trojan horse. That's the guy who's coming for it all, right? And so you need wrestling pedigree to get through a guy like Khamzat. Khamzat's got the technical striking as well. I get it. Dricus K1, but how is Dricus chaining all of that? He really isn't. He looks awkward and quirky. It works for him again because he's fighting off a plan of action, right? Where Khamzat's got a technical striking approach, right? He fought Gilbert in the prime of his career. Don't get it mistaken. Don't listen to people, man. Do the homework yourself. Go look at who Gilbert Burns had fought before he fought Khamzat. He was in the prime of his life, man. All right, and then we talking about who that opponent was. Kamaru Usman. You think the guy just got off the couch? That's all bullshit. Again, that was fed by his management team, fed by the UFC. You really believe Usman got off the couch one weight class up? The guy's already as tall as the trees. He's a great middleweight, Kamaru Usman. You just saw the work he did against Joaquin Buckley. What about those knees? At a time where stem cells, all right, were the talk of the town in the UFC. Up and down the ranks. You ask Henry Cejudo. Everyone knows about where to get that in Colombia, where I'm going to be this week, and I'm watching the pay-per-view. So, we're going to move on. We got Chimaev on the money line. All right, folks? And you ain't changing my mind about it. Here we go. Karine, Silva, Dion, Barbosa. Man, listen, I do believe that Dion Barbosa is the better half. Actually, the whole of who we just saw, Gabriela Fernandez. Karine Silva, what a great wrestler this girl is, man. Luta Livre, she's got great jiu-jitsu, and her striking is not all that bad. She sets up traps. She's great with the grappling as she is the striking. She's got through Marina Moroz, who was a world-class elite boxer for her country of Ukraine. She got through a Thai boxer and Ariane Lipsky. No way she ain't getting through Ariane Dion Barbosa. This is a lock of epic proportions. Do you understand me? Karine Silva on the money line. We move on. Edson Barbosa, Drakkar Klose. Man, I was sitting next to Drakkar Klose when he got finished. Okay? I saw it live and direct. Edson Barbosa is going to chop Klose off his legs. He's going to chop him off. But if he ain't successful in the first or second round, Barbosa's getting knocked out by Klose. All right, that's the bet. And then here we go. We have Bobby Green, Diego Ferrer. Diego Ferrer has this in the bag, but he is 40 years of age. If Bobby Green is ready to leave it all in there and risk getting caught, you know, if he's in there, you know, dirty boxing, potentially slugging it out with Diego Ferrer, I believe Bobby Green wins. But if Bobby is apprehensive about striking or the grappling of Diego Ferrer wins this fight. All right, guys. I don't know who would put money on a 40-year-old when we could take Karine Silva. You could take Gerald Meerschaert by submission. Hey, might as well. I'm not putting money on Bobby Green. I ain't putting money on Ferrer. I'd rather do it on Gerald Meerschaert. Cross my fingers. That's a submission plus 1,000. Plus 1,000. Listen, Michael Olejchuk should take Meerschaert out. But I do notice that Meerschaert's striking has improved somewhat. And he does work off his back and has good top control. But Olejchuk is in his prime at 30 years of age. This man has had so many fights. He's so deserving of the spot. It would be a damn shame if he gets knee barred. Now, there is something, though. I believe Olejchuk is coming off an injury. So if that's true, then there's something to think about there. That submission might be live with Gerald Meerschaert. If you want a lottery play and you're playing the lottery with King or Diego Ferrer, might as well just go with Meerschaert's submission. Jessica Andrade, love this girl. At strawweight, one of the best in the world. Lupi Godinez, she's a great striker before she is a wrestler. The wrestling pedigree she gets from her sister. It is borrowed. She did not develop in the wrestling or the grappling as you would think. She's a boxer first before anything, and then you have Jessica Andrade. All right, Jessica Andrade, I understand. Off her back looks miserable. Will Lupi get her there? I doubt it. Man, if anything, Andrade has a sprawling brawl and the power to finish you. I'd like to see Andrade here. I know she signed a 10-year contract with the UFC. I think she's taken enough punishment at flyweight. I think this is free. This is free, ladies and gentlemen. At the 11th rank up against a number 9. I see how Lupi stock, I mean, look, Jessica Andrade is 33. What does Lupi got to lose here if she loses this fight? Not much, man. We just seen C-Rod out the door, didn't we? Look at Miles Johns. Lost a very close split decision. His stock is still way up, right? He still's got the fan base. Nur Sultan, man, I don't like Brian Battle at this weight class. He's 30. He's young. He's got a whole life ahead of him. I don't like him in this weight class, folks. Nur Sultan, Ruzbiev, man, on the money line. Get out of here. Brian Battle was clinching, striking, getting worked. I think this guy, Urbina, was able to close his hands and get him down against the octagon wall, smother him, pummel him until, unfortunately, Brian Battle caught him when they got back on the feet. That's it. Yeah, Gilbert Urbina, the guy who has no chin and just lost with a knockout there. There we go. So I got Nursultan Ruzbiev, all right? And we have Alexander Hernandez. I get it. He fought Jim Miller. I get it. I understand. He fought a lot of folks, man. He fought Juicy J. He's fought fighters in the lightweight division, like the featherweight division. And it's important we make note of that because Alexander is undersized. I do believe that the UFC re-signed him for this particular fight here. Chase Hooper is on a win streak. I think they're going to give him a ranked opponent next after this win. And guess what? He's getting finished. Yeah, Chase Hooper will get. He's young. You guys young. He's going to get finished like C-Rod and all these young 25-year-olds that are up and coming. Alexander Hernandez, I wish this were a featherweight fight. I'd be on the money line here with the underdog. But, that's not the case. Yeah, I understand. He has been submitted by Renato Moicano. I get it. Other than that, I don't think he's been submitted, nearly in the third round by Jim Miller. He has a black belt. He's good, He could, all those attempts, anything on Chase Hooper from, in the guard, I get Hernandez could potentially survive. I get it if you want Alexander to win. I get it. But I don't think that's likely. I think Chase Hooper is going to wrap around Alex. If anything, he's got a jab now. Hooper's got a jab. He could use that. And maybe we got a split decision or a finish here for Chase Hooper. He's already, on a 5, 6, 7 fight win streak? This is out of control, man. He's only lost in the grappling to Aljamain Sterling. Can you believe that? We have Geoff Neal, lock of the year, Carlos Prattz. Guess what? Carlos Prattz is in his prime. 31. Geoff Neal coming off. And yes, Carlos Prattz has a lot to lose here if he loses this fight. Why? Because Geoff Neal's got so many injuries. He literally just pulled out a fight not so many months ago because of another one. All right, he's got neck, he's got ACL, PCL, MCL, he's got back, he's got all these problems. I respect Geoff Neal, but there's something that is a vulnerability in Geoff Neal, man. The center line is like his worst enemy, man. He doesn't understand it. He really doesn't, especially against a kickboxer. He's in trouble, okay? And he ain't moving from it. That's it. He's going to be there for everything Carlos Prattz has. This is tailor-made for Carlos Prattz. Tailor-made. You don't believe me? Send me a DM when this is all over. Send me a DM. You won't believe it. Jared Kennedy, Michael Page is getting ranked or he's retiring. Awful loss here. Jared Cannonier has lost me thousands of dollars. Thousands, like Jamal Hill has lost me thousands of dollars, and Chito Vera, thousands of dollars. And this is where I place thousands of dollars on Michael Venom Page so that he could rank, okay? He'll earn a ranking here. I think there's someone in his place now. This is incorrect. He ain't number 15. And if he is, goddamn, he's going to number 8 right off the rip. Let's go. Jared Cannonier. Wow, great, but Michael controls the range. You know how that's going to work. His striking is incredibly lengthy, and that is an Achilles heel for Jared Cannonier. All right, and then we have Tim Elliott, Kaio Sakura. I don't like Kaio Sakura's scrambles, in particular to what we've seen him in the latter part of his regional promotions, his work in the regional promotions, and then, through the UFC. Right, in his debut, again, he's up against Pantoja. I get it. Tim Elliott is old, though. So I think with inflation and a potential recession here, Tim Elliott's got to go. Japan, this later half of the year, is doing well. We faded the hell out of anyone from a foreign promotion at the beginning of the year. Now, as we have Tatsuro Taira winning, his fights, I'm looking forward to Kaio Sakura and the next Japanese fighters in the upcoming cards to win. And then we could build around fight cards like Shanghai, that's, here and there the following week, right? After UFC 319, it's UFC Shanghai, I think 14 days from there or the week after. So let's go. Kaio Sakura on the money line. Tim is relentless, man. I get it. I know. Darren Elkins, all these guys that look like crackheads. No offense. It's all love. They got that crackhead energy, man, and power. I get it. Let's see. We got Leron Murphy, Aaron Pico, 28 years of age. I like Murphy. I'm not betting him at 34 years of age and in his prime. Unless his coaches can prove to me that they're credentialed. Why? Because we just saw such an incredible fighter in Gilbert Urbina who knocked down Uruz Medic and did not seek top control. Nothing. And he's relentless with his grappling. Gilbert Urbina's a beast. At 31 years of age, I believe, with 7 fights under his belt with the UFC in MMA, terrible coaching just to let Uruz Medic get back up. Right? That's it. So, in the same, I don't know if Aaron Pico gets a rank here with Leron Murphy, right? Or if he'll follow up like we had the Pitbull brother, Duso from Bellator, the same. And I just think like with Dan Ige, right? We saw that fight. So, I like Leron Murphy in the fact that, yes, he'll get his striking off, especially in a 30-footer pay-per-view, right? This isn't the Apex, 25-footer octagon. He's got the space. And he's going to frustrate Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico's going to look like a madman complaining the whole time, like he's Sean Strickland, right? And trying to get his hands on Leron Murphy. So, I guess you could get a controversial win, and then we could run this with Leron Murphy and Movsar Evloev and call it a day, right? Or, Aaron Pico wins the fight, faces Movsar Evloev off the rip. Who knows? Who knows what goes on at featherweight? But Arnold Allen hasn't had a fight, so it's unfortunate. These people, I don't know. They're stuck in the twilight zone. I don't know, in the middle of the rankings here. And then you have Dricus and Khamzat, which we've already covered. I think it's suffice to say that we have a new Khamzat Chimaev. It was good. Dricus had a good run as a kickboxer. Adesanya had his opportunity, but sold out to Stake.com, calling the center of the octagon, not even, an angle at the corner of the octagon, and then giving up his back to Dricus. Isn't that crazy, man? It's over, man. Over. He thought he would be replacing Anderson Silva in records and titles and accolades, right, in the UFC. But no, he sold out to Stake. Not once, not twice, 3 times. There we go. That's all she wrote. Good for you, Dricus. Here we go. Khamzat and you.